What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lil Daryl. We back on another video. Man, shout out to all my subscribers. I know I've been a little bit absent, but your boy is back, all right? Now, on this video today, we're going to talk about how I closed a deal for $30,000. 30 bands, you know what I'm saying? This deal right here was with me and my boy Gordon. It was a joint venture deal. Shout out to Gordon. This is one of my mentees, one of my students that's been rocking out with me, and he's a go-getter, you know, so I'm really proud of him on this one. This is his biggest deal to date so far. This is his second deal he closed. Back-to-back months. He's on momentum now. So this was a good deal. This deal was actually in Centerville, Texas. Okay, so Gordon had got the lead from Property Leads. So he had handled the acquisition side. He handled all the acquisitions, you know, so he reached out to them, you know, he pitched them on the RBP program. And if you don't know what the RBP program is, it's the retail buyer program. So, you know, our company, we have a program called the Retail Buyer Program. It's similar to a Novation, but in my eyes, it's better because the contract is a lot better and it's a lot more secure on for you as the middleman in the transaction. But we pitched the seller on the Retail Buyer Program. She actually, you know, loved it. We got her under contract. And then boom, the process started happening. So we sent out a field agent to go out and get pictures, did the site survey. On this one, we actually got professional photos because it was a nice property. So we wanted to show it in the best light. So once we actually got it on the market, we used one flat fee listing service and we got it on the market, but it wasn't in the local MLS. So the engagement was a little bit slow. It was a little bit off and we weren't getting a lot of showing requests. So what we did is we took it down. Since it wasn't in the local MLS, we found another flat fee listing service that actually was able to get us in the local MLS. Now, why it's important to have properties in the local MLS is because you're going to be able to get exposure from local agents. Okay, so the local agents are going to be able to see the property. All right, if it's in the MLS a couple counties away, then the local agents are not going to be able to see it. So once we had got the property relisted in the local MLS, the engagement shot up and the showing requests started coming. So we had got a first showing request, right? Before we did that, we were able to lock in a great price reduction on the property, and then that was able to open us up to a lot more commission, all right? So once we got the price reduction, we ended up getting a buyer from the market, and everything was great. It was about to be $100,000 deal, y'all. Crazy spread, like 97,000 or something like that. You know, we were stoked. We ended up getting a buyer. They made an offer, put in an offer. We looked at the spread, 100K spread. Man, me and Gordon's heart was beating. We're like, dang, this is crazy, right? But that buyer ended up falling through, right? So what happened is they did an inspection, and then once they did this inspection and survey, they didn't like the work that needed to be done. It was out of their budget, so they backed out of the contract. So we lost that buyer. We were kind of sad, you know, we're like, dang, we just missed out on the damn near six-figure spread. It was back to the drawing board to find another buyer. So we took it from pending, put it back active in the market. Once it was back active, started getting more showing requests, literally like a week later. So this one came in, it was an interested buyer. They came in a little bit lower than the previous one. So, you know, we were looking at a 30K spread, you know, but it was still great. So they sent in the offer got signed and everything, and then now it was the waiting game. You know, we're just waiting for closing. Everything was looking great. It was supposed to close August 8th, but then they pushed the closing back. All right, now listen, they didn't push the closing back one time. They pushed the closing back 4 times. You know, so I had to have 4 different conversations with the seller about why her property was not closing on this day, and that was not a good call. You know, it got to the point where, like, you know, she was stressing. You know, it was me, her, and Gordon in the group chat. She was texting us, she was stressing. So, you know, out of the kindness of my heart, I ended up sending her $500. I said, look, I'm gonna send you $500 just because this wasn't able to close. You know, I don't want you to get behind on any of your bills. We know this is unfortunate. We're sorry. This was out of our control. She accepted it, you know, and then she, you know, it calmed her down. It definitely helped, you know. So in some situations, y'all help the seller if you can. You know, I was sitting on a little bit of chicken. I didn't mind to send her 500, you know. But if you're not in the situation to do that, you're just gonna have to calm them down and just be transparent. But, you know, luckily I was able to, you know, calm her down, send her to 500. Closing day got pushed back another time because, you know, the lender needed something. We had to wait on the lender. You know, they're the ones funding the deal. So finally, when the lender gave us the clear to close, you know, the deal officially closed on August 28th. You know, so it was supposed to close August 8th. It ended up closing August 28th. You know, so you guys got to think about that. You know, that was, you know, a lot of waiting, you know. So, but long story short, you just got to stay positive. You know, this is real estate. Anything can happen. I've literally had deals where the buyer and the seller signed this settlement statement, and we're waiting on funds to get dispersed just for the lender to red flag it and the deal fall through. You know, so a deal is not a deal until it's paid on. Until that money hits your account, it is not a deal, okay? So don't get your hopes up. But luckily, this one made it to the finish line. We're actually able to close this deal for right under $30,000, and it was a great deal. It sat on the market for about 60 days, so it didn't take that long for it to close at all. You know, it's in a great area, you know, in Texas. So I'm just really happy, you know, for my boy Gordon. This is his second deal. This is his biggest one so far. You know, we're able to, you know, walk away with 15 G's each, you know, so it was just a great deal, y'all. And I just want to show time and time again why the retail buyer program is the best. You know, a lot of y'all found my channel from wholesaling content, but I don't really wholesale no more. I started off wholesaling, but out of 10 deals I'll do, maybe 2 of them will be, you know, a wholesale deal. You know, the RBP program has definitely helped my business, shifted my business to where, you know, I can help a lot more sellers and work a lot more of these leads, you know. So if anyone wants to reach out, you know, and just get mentorship, or, you know, actually just learn how to do the RBP program and get the retail buyer program course, the links are down below. You know, go on my Stan store and check it out. You can also hit me up on Instagram, you know, and DM me if you got any questions. But, you know, I'll see y'all on the next video. Thanks for supporting. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one.